Hey Pheasant Lane fam, I hope you're doing well. My name's Robert and this is Pheasant Lane Farm. And yes, it's been a while since I put a video out. I do apologize. This summer has kind of been kicking my butt. But real quick, something that bugs me, they're putting a lot of asphalt down. We live in Ohio. There's a lot of construction basically year-round. So everybody's always about safety, safety, safety. Going through that little construction zone back there, one lady on one of the giant rollers is texting our cell phone, almost hit me head on with a roller. Granted, I was only doing 10 miles an hour, but still. And the flagger lady is standing behind a truck with yellow flashing lights wearing a yellow vest. And you couldn't see her until you're about 10 yards away from her. And she's also talking on a cell phone, not using any flag or device or anything like that. Safety, man, it's not worth it. Pay attention. So, what's been going on? Real quick, kiddo has just wrapped up her softball season. Things were crazy. She had tournaments all this week. Last week, she had 3 games. The week before that, 3 or 4 games, whatever it's been. Things have just been a little crazy. And to be honest, college is kind of kicking my butt. For the first time in 10 years, I'm back in college. And it's just absolutely nuts. I've never taken summer courses. I knew that the workload is a little more than usual. I went to a class Wednesday morning. I had my first class, one of my classes of the 2 I'm taking this summer. The professor actually said this to the class: most of you might as well just leave this class and drop it. This is a totally new software. She said, I've had 10 minutes to look over it, and you guys aren't going to have enough time. There's basically 18 weeks of coursework packed into 8 weeks. And by the time we left there on noon on Wednesday, there was 31 assignments due by Sunday. It took me about 23 hours within those 4 days to get those assignments done. And I'm basically retired now. I wouldn't say I have a lot of free time, but it was a struggle for me. A couple kids in my class were saying, hey, we have summer jobs, we work 6/12s, and they're just gonna have to drop this class. So quite a culture shock for me going back to college. But let's get to the point of this video. I'm going to buy a land plane, also known as a grader scraper or a land leveler. And I know what you guys are thinking. Whoa, time out, Robert, hold up. The last 2.5 years, we've seen plenty of your videos with you using a Land Pride land plane. That's what I choose to call it, as a land plane. You would be correct. I do have quite a few videos of a Land Pride. I believe it was a GS 1560. GS denotes a grader scraper. The 15 is a series and the 60 is the width. That's true. I did have that for 2.5 years. The only problem was I did not own that piece of equipment. That was on kind of a long-term loan to me from one of my grandpa's friends and business associates. One day I was up at his shop talking about how I bought the Kubota tractor, 2.5 years ago, and I needed to go buy a grader scraper, a land plane. And he goes, hey, I have one sitting out there, just take it. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, I bought it for one job. He does a little bit of everything from restoring antique tractors to running heavy equipment, dump trucks, you name it. This guy is kind of a jack of all trades. He goes, yeah, I bought that for an excavation job. I needed it. It paid for itself the first week I used it, and it's been sitting on a trailer for 2 years. So I've had it at my place for 2.5 years. I just dropped it off to him last week, and I said, Joe, let me buy it from you. And he goes, nope, I need it, and I know what they're worth now. When he bought that thing a few years ago, he told me he paid under $1,200 for it, and right now a good land plane is pushing the $2,000 to even $3,000 range. So Joe knew what he had. I'm very grateful to Joe and his wife. They've had some other equipment they've let me use. They're kind of the people, if they're not using it, it might as well be getting used. So very, very thankful for them. Without that land plane, we wouldn't have got a lot of work done at our place. So I dropped that off to him last week, and we are going to buy a new land plane today. I called the dealer where I bought my tractor from. They said, hey, we only got some, I don't know if they were 54-inch models in. I want to go to a 72. It'll cover the wheel tracks on the Kubota 3901 a little better. give me about 6 inches of clearance on each side. So overall, a 12-inch wider implement. So like I said, I called them. They said, hey, we have 172. It's already got somebody's name on it. All we have is the smaller ones. I called another Kubota dealer close to me. I live pretty close between two dealers. And they're both within, I don't know, 45 minutes from my house. He said, hey, I got 12 of the Land Pride versions of the 12-inch. I believe it was the 1572 models. And he goes, I have one Woods left. And I go, well, what's the deal with the Woods? He goes, honestly, it's like $174 more. He goes, in our opinion, it's a lot heavier duty piece of equipment. So that's what we're going to pick up. Funny story, I was talking to Amber last night. She said, hey, we need one. Like, we're in the middle of bringing in about 200 ton of stone. And we kind of let it rain, hit it again, let it rain. It really packs down to a nice base. She says, we kind of need one. I go, I know. Really wasn't planning on spending money right now. But talked to Amber last night. She said, hey, just take the credit card. She gets a lot better points than I do on her credit card. So ran the 40 minutes away to buy it. I walked in. They had it ready for me. I laid down the credit card. And they said, they didn't tell you on the phone? And I go, no, what are you talking about? We only take cash or check on implements in tractors, on new implements in tractors. I said, okay. So I just took the checkbook out of my truck. So we are going back today to pick up this piece of equipment. Not a big deal, is what it is. On the way, I'm going to stop and grab some steer corn, drop off at my dad's place. We still got some steers over there. So I guess it's not a wasted trip, but basically last night was a wasted trip. And you know, diesel's $6 a gallon right now, so it is what it is. I happen to still have the dump trailer hooked up. Bought some stone last night. I've been hauling stone in, so I guess that's enough talking for now. Kind of a quick update of what we've had going on lately, and we are gonna go pick up a land plane. So I will catch you guys when we get there. There's a whole lot of Land Prides. 72 inches. Well, there's a whole bunch. There's 9 of the Land Pride GS 1572s and only one Woods GSS 72P left. So that's the big boy we're going to take. Kind of a side-by-side comparison. I do like how the Woods has the adjustable shoes on it. And overall just seems a little heavier built than the Land Pride unit. So anytime you have an option to buy heavy duty, I try. All right, there it is. First time off the trailer. If you guys saw when I picked this up, they take the 3-point assembly off and zip tie it to the frame. That way they can stack them, get more in the truck for shipping. So before I even unloaded from the trailer, I called my friend Shannon and I said, hey, can I run this over? Can you help me put this together? Shannon did it in about 2 minutes. It's not hard. There's 6 bolts. There's 3 on each side that hold that plate 3-point assembly on, and then 2 at the top there. So it is quick hitch compatible, and then it still has a hole at the top if you want to use your traditional top link. So big thank you to Shannon for doing that. With the whole arm thing I'm going through right now, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hold those plates up and try and thread those bolts through at the same time. So let's go over the specs real quick. This is the Woods GSS 72P, made in Oregon, Illinois, by Woods. A nice little American flag sticker there. So the specs on the GSS 72, with scarifiers, this weighs 655 pounds. Without, it weighs about 580. It says tractor horsepower on this is 45 max. Working width 71.3 inches, overall width 76.5, overall height 35.5, overall length 46 inches. The box height is 16 inches. This is a Cat 1. If you go up to the next one, which is the GSM 84, I'm assuming the M means like medium duty because that's for tractors up to like 65 horse. That's Cat 1 or Cat 2. This is quick hitch compatible, like I said. This has 5 ripping shanks. Cutting edge is 1/2 inch by 6, which appears to be standard across all of them. The cutting edge angle on these is 5%. The cutting edge spacing in inches, all of them except the GSS 54, the smallest one, are 17-inch spacing. The GSS 54 is 54-inch. Scarifier depth, however you want to say it, on the GSS 72 is -2.5 to +2.5. Cutting edge depth is -1 inch to +1/2 inch. Right now it's on the highest setting, as you can see by the chassis bolts being all the way up. Let me move you around the front, show you that. I'm going to go out in the barn. I'm going to drop them down a little bit and see how this thing works. All right, so I loosened up the 4 bolts on each side for the adjustable shoes that you can see right here. That whole piece will slide up and down to adjust your depth. So sorry, I got a horse back here nibbling on my shoulder while I'm talking. But I picked the 3-point up, make sure it was level, made sure it was level both front to back and side to side with my side link over there. Made sure the top link's loose enough so I'm not putting any pressure on it. I really want this to be as true as possible. This is the flattest area I have on the property, besides the garage, and I can't back this in there right now. So loosened those up, picked it up with the 3-point, put 2 pieces of scrap 3/4 inch plywood under each side. This should put my blades 3/4 of an inch below the shoes, which is where I want them. This is a big trial and error, so we'll see how it works. Go ahead, tighten these up, take it for a quick test drive, and we'll see how she does. All right, well, it's the same day. I had to call it quits for a little bit. Kiddo had a school function kind of end of year. I forgot it. So I had to go take a shower, get ready. We just got back from that. I'm going to drop the land plane and drive past here, and we'll see what it does. I have a feeling it might be too deep at 3/4 of an inch, but all we can do is just see and find out and go from there. All right, due to a storm rolling in on the south, I think we're gonna go ahead and cut this video a little short. We're under a storm watch. Just south of us, they're under a storm warning right now. And the lightning and thunder seems to be moving a little closer, so safety first. This area right here, please excuse the mess. We got leftover wood and totes and all that stuff I gotta get cleaned up. I figured this would be a really good test area, kind of a sample area to use this new Woods GSS 72P on. Grader scraper, land plane, land leveler, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of this stone I hauled in last year. Gavin put it down with the skid steer. It's been rained on, it had snow on it, and it was hard. You could barely even scrape the surface with the bucket on the tractor. And down there was some fresh stone that I put in a few weeks ago. So I figured this was a nice happy medium. The driveway is super hard, so I'm not worried about that. I want to know how it was going to do on hard pack and a little bit softer fresh stone. I had to adjust the top link out a lot farther than I had to. This seems to be a little deeper front to back, or maybe that's just me, but it took a little extra to get that back down flush so both those shoes are running flat across the surface. I did notice the extra weight of this unit. Granted, it is a foot wider than the Land Pride GS 1560 I was using. This does have the solid 3-point attachment, so I think that's where you're getting a little bit of extra of your weight from. And it worked beautiful. I'm probably going to go back and fine-tune the shoes. I might raise them up about a quarter inch. I think ½ inch is probably going to be your kind of happy medium, so it'd be in the middle of those holes. When I bought it, it was moved, the chassis was moved all the way up. Now it's all the way down, or according to the shoes were all the way down. Now they're all the way up, depending on how you want to look at it. And this thing is nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the barn. We'll be doing some more videos on this in the future. I want to get some more time with it under my belt before I kind of make a determination of which one I liked better in the long run. They both kind of have their pluses and minuses, and we'll go into that in another video when I really break it down and do a comparison of the Woods GSS 72P and the Land Pride GS 1560. I know it's not apples to apples. One is a foot wider than the other one, but I think we can get a pretty good idea. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, kind of forgot kiddo had a school function today, so Amber and I went to that pretty close to the end of the year, and it's hard to believe she's going to be another grade next year. It's kids just grow up way too fast, you know. I want her to go back to being little again, but I don't think that's going to happen. So all right, everybody, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, hit us up, pheasantlanefarm@gmail.com. Peaches is back here sneezing. If you have any questions, comments, I try my best to answer the emails and all the comments. Sometimes I miss a comment, and I apologize. So we're going to put this away in the barn, let this storm pass, and then we'll see what tomorrow's project is. Take care, everybody. God bless. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for all you guys do, all the support, and most of all, make smart decisions. We'll catch you on the next one.